go.
Invincible.
Time for Brand Taps. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Who gets it done? We're leaning on each other. It's Joey Rainey. It's Andrew Bound coming to the stripe. Stone Colby's right there with them. Checkered flag is out. Who gets it done? It's a photo finish for Brand Taps coming to the line.
For the push, I don't know. This is going to be a photo finish.
Oh, Stone Colby taking the checkered flag to the inside. Who's it going to be? It's a photo finish. Give it to Brendan Burt. Conquers Watkins Glen. Gets turned across the line.
Thank you for joining us, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure. Mount Panorama does not give drivers anywhere to hide. Now, for West Coast Sim Racing, the GR86 field heads to Bathurst, and one of the most demanding laps in motorsport. A circuit that starts with long straights and heavy braking zones before climbing into a mountain section where the walls close in and every mistake becomes expensive. In the GR86, momentum will be everything. The car does not have enough power to simply recover from a poor exit, so the drivers must stay clean through Griffin's Bend. maintain rhythm across the top of the mountain, and be absolutely precise through Skyline and the S's before coming to the run down Conrad Straight. And that's where things can change in an instant. The draft will bring cars together at high speeds, but the mountain section offers almost no room to race side by side. Drivers will have to decide when to attack, when to follow, and when protecting the car matters more than forcing the issue. Bathurst rewards confidence, but only when that confidence is matched by discipline. This is West Coast Sim Racing, the Toyota GR86 at Mount Panorama. Let's go racing. Welcome, folks, to the 3.8 mile circuit, or 6.2 kilometers if we're down under. 23 corners in total, 14 to the left, 9 to the right, and 571 feet of elevation change. The Conrad Straight's going to bring drivers down a 1.1 mile straightaway. We're going to be pushing speeds faster than we can imagine in these GR86 cars. Top speed coming in around 142 down the Conrad Straight for the drivers, but tonight the track is going to be a little bit cloudier than normal, with temperatures being as low as the 60s. 100% fuel load for the drivers, and damage is going to be off. Couple keys to the race for them tonight. Protect momentum across the mountain. That's key number 1. Number 2, be patient in the narrow sections across the mountain. Number 3, maximizing the exit out of Forest Elbow. And key number 4, using the draft without being trapped by it. Meaning to get effective use of the draft, but don't get stuck in and think that that's going to be all she wrote. Right now, Jeremy Fletcher topping the charts. But for how long will that stand? Because we have Slater Colby right behind. And Slater Colby is less than a tenth down right now. Jeremy Fletcher running the top of the mountain section right now. Let's take a look on board and see what it looks like from his point of view. On the nose of the JFR Esports machine as we come down the hill through the Dippa. Out of the Dippa into Forest Elbow. He's going to run it wide and into the barrier. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Of course, we have all of the Odyssey Motorsports fans in as well. Welcome in Oliver Brooks, Mr. Birch, Moonlight Dancer, Edit Respect. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. You guys are a pleasure to be with. Let's take a look at those results for the qualifying session first. Fletcher, Colby, and then Colby Train. There's only 2 cars this time around. It's Slater, then Nico. Luke Cantor in 4th. Edwin Onofree in 5th. Semi-0 in 6th. Clancy Garvin, Brandon Birch, Connor Cunningham, LaShawn Young, Dilworth, and Jeffrey Davis running nose to tail right now in 10th and 11th. Stone Colby, then Alex Andreu, Joe Rainey, Jensen McKelkey, Christian James, Glenn Pratton, Warren Johnson, Darren Colby, and Thomas Divley. Then we have, last but not least, it's going to be Mr. Boland bringing up the rear in 21st. Take a quick look at the championship points before we get too far into this race. It is Fletcher leading by a commanding 42 points in front of Brandon Birch. Slater Colby in third, Edwin Onofre in fourth, Jeffrey Davis, then Stone Colby, Nico Colby, Luke Cantor, Jensen McKelkey, Connor Cunningham round out your top 10. Joe Rainey, LaShawn Young Dilworth, Alex Andreu, Nathaniel Redmond, Christian James, Warren Johnson, Marvin Samayoa, and Darren Colby round out the 18 drivers in the top 20. Take a look at our starting grid. It'll be Fletcher and Colby alongside one another as we head down the back stretch. Then Nico Colby and Luke Cantor going to be alongside each other on row number 2. Edwin Onofre and Samayoa on row number 3. Row number 4 belongs to Clancy Garvin and Brandon Birch. Row number 5 goes this way, Connor Cunningham and LaShawn Young Dilworth. After Dilworth, it'll be Jeffrey Davis and Stone Colby. Alexei Andreu and Joe Rennie. Jensen McKelkey and Christian James round out row number 8. You guys in the chat are absolutely amazing. Glenn Bratton and Warren Johnson round out row number 9. Row number 10 is going to go this way. Darren Colby and Thomas Divley. Following that, it's going to be Jacob Pauling. Let's get ready for the race start, folks. Coming in towards turn number 1, Slater Colby and Jeremy Fletcher are going to be alongside each other. Drag race galore down and towards Hell Corner. It'll be Jeremy Fletcher trying to do a lick of the stamp and ascend, but it will be neat and clean for the entire field as we make it 2x2 Noah's Ark formation through. The drivers have gotten well equipped to dealing with wheel-to-wheel action, and this time it's no different on the race start. Inside line turns into the outside line for Jeremy Fletcher coming into the following corner. After the mountain straight, it'll be Corey Ben, but it's to no avail. It's no challenge for him. Who is that tumbling down the order? That will be a whole pile of cars, including Edwin Onofre, Nico Colby, Christian James, Glenn Bratton, Thomas Divley, Alexei Andreu, all coming together after that one. Big drama on the opening run. See if we can get a replay of what happened here to Onofre. Coming into turn 1, he comes into the Gorillas pickle machine, goes off wide, but it will be the number 16 of Nico Colby that went off first. And it's the Odyssey Motorsports TV channel themselves coming in. Welcome in, Odyssey Motorsports TV. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure to be with you on behalf of AK Esports and West Coast Sim Racing. We have great racing 3 nights of the week, and it's great to see some of the Odyssey Motorsports drivers come in, show up, and show out, such as Clancy Garvin as well. Number 73 driver. I believe this is his debut after being a spectator for some time here in the West Coast Sim Racing organization. Decided to step into the ring, so here he goes on his opening run. Not too shabby, sitting in the top 5, 2 positions gained so far, but those battles happening before they could end. Those battles concluding before they could begin, I should say, as those 2 were the 16 and Edwin Onofre in the number 99. And there's a big drift in the background. That'll be Warren Johnson coming through turn number 1, Hell Corner. A little giddy up and go attached to the rear end of that car. Let's check in with Brendan Birch, meeting the sandwich right now as he looks forward to LaShawn Young Dilworth, and his rear view is filled up with Stone Colby. coming through the cutting. Up the hill next will be Griffin's Mount. Whoa, big wiggle there from LaShawn Young. Dilworth coming through the Dippa. Holy Toledo, I cannot believe that he kept it on the black stuff. That was close from LYD. Checking in with Clancy Garvin as he chases down Luke Cantor. Cantor chases down Colby. As he looks to the inside line, he will go wheel to wheel with Clancy Garvin, or CG, as we get through the kink. CG nose ahead of the Dynaco machine. Under braking, it will go this way for Odyssey Motorsports, finding themselves a podium this night. Oh, off in the background, LYD finding a little bit of kitty litter there at the exit of the chase, and the two Apex Motor Club badge cars, Birch and Colby, find a little bit of ground on the Odyssey Motorsports group. Nearly three abreast up the road, as here comes Marvin Samayoa, locked in battle right now with Luke Cantor. Goes for a switchback at turn one, but that real estate was occupied. Side by side down the mountain straight in towards Quarry Bend. Samayoa and Luke Cantor go wheel to wheel. In the background, there's more battling going on. The Gorillos Pickles machine is the nose ahead, but here comes Birch in front of Colby. Oh no, big spin. That'll be LYD. LYD having a spin coming out of the chase. Out of the cutting, excuse me. Let's see what happens here. Was he pushed by a teammate? Looks like there might have been a little bit of contact, per chance, per maybe, from Jeffrey Davis in that lucky number 7. And a trip down pit road is all can be said for the 888 LYD. Oh, drivers making sweet, tender love to the barriers here at Forest Elbow. And good thing damage is turned off, otherwise we'd be seeing drivers missing mirrors. Running single file line between the top 4, separated by a blanket of less than a second between the Quattro. Jeremy Fletcher's best lap around, 2:25.66. 2:25.52 from the car behind. 2:25.46 from Clancy Garvin. The owner of OMTV wants to join me in the booth. If he can get into the Discord, why not? Is he in the Discord? Go ahead and join the interview room and I can drag you in here. Right now, Jeremy Fletcher leads, but just by a narrow margin in front of Slater Colby, the number 25, holding on to P2 right now. Coming down the hill through the dipper into the toughest part of the track, the Forest Elbow, because it leads on to the back straight, the Conrad straight, and into the chase. It's one of the most important corners to get right. Let's take a look further back at Connor Cunningham as he battles it out with Glen Bratton. Bratton, a narrow margin ahead of Connor Cunningham. The chase is on through the dipper. Down the hill into Forest Elbow. Connor Cunningham tries to get an excellent run, and he does get an excellent run and get by Glen Bratton, who makes a mistake coming down the mountain. We saw battles like this brew up and come to fruition last season. This time it's a little bit more of the same as Jeffrey Davis goes a long way around the outside of Birch at Hell Corner. Side by side, all the way down the mountain straight into Quarry Bend. But the battle concludes with Jeffrey Davis coming out on top. On top for now. Big asterisk on the for now part. Here, let's look at the battle for first between Fletcher, Colby, and Cantor. Clancy Garvin still there, but barely in touch of the battle for first. Here we go with Semioa right now, locked in battle with the young man Jeffrey Davis, who's trying to make moves at the kick. They look to the inside line at the Gorilla Pickles machine. Will he go for it? It's a little bit dangerous here, but if anybody can do it, it's Jeffrey Davis. He goes for one. He tries to go for two, but the 52 covers it off well. Steadfast and hard coming through the chase. It will be a drag going into the penultimate corner. Battle up here between Cantor and Clancy Garvin, but what went wrong and what went wrong in the background is health goes Stone Colby. Birch watches on as Semioa and Jeffrey Davis go wheel to wheel. Down the mountain straight. She'll be coming around that mountain when she comes. It'll be Clancy Garvin coming around that mountain when she comes to the inside line on Marvin Semioa. But Semioa with a hip check back says, I need a little bit of real estate going into the cutting. And he doesn't want to be on that inside line where the cutting cuts you off. A little bit of hip check back from Jeffrey Davis onto Marvin Semioa, and Davis climbs back up into P4. Riding on the rear wing of Jeffrey Davis, we look back at Marvin Samayoa here. Odyssey Motorsports TV, go ahead and jump in whenever you want, sir. In the background, Birch sees the writing on the wall. These opportunities available. A little bit of three wide action, maybe through the kink. Samayoa goes over the sausages, keeps the car planted, finds a little bit of dirt on exit of the last chicane, but down to the final corner. Down to Murray's. It'll be to the inside line and a big spin for the number 7. Jeffrey Davis goes around and Burge gets collected in that. Let's see a replay of what happened here. Holy Toledo. And what happened to Jeremy Fletcher? Jeremy Fletcher jumped to the pits? Jeremy Fletcher reporting to pit lane. While that incident took place, here's Davis with Joe Rainey now, battle for 6th. Now Rainey crashes. Anything that can go wrong for the West Coast Sim Racing crew tends to go wrong on the last lap, and that was all by his lonesome. Here's Colby and Cantor, wheel to wheel, going down the final stretch for the final time. Wheel to wheel for the lead into the final chicane. Cantor comes back on track and hip checks Stone Colby. Slater Colby has the run down into Murray's corner, and he'll be up ahead. But the Dynaco machine goes off the grass, and we'll lose out to Slater. What a battle! In the background, Jeffrey Davis and Jensen McKelkey go wheel to wheel as well and finish things off in their battle for 5th and 6th. And that will be it for drivers to cross the line to bring it home, folks. Let's take a look at those results here in just a moment. What a race and what a finish. At the end of the day, the drivers bring it home with style and grace. Jensen McKelkey with 9 positions gained on the evening might definitely get the Hard Charger award. Take a look at those results. It'll be Slater Colby, Luke Cantor, and Clancy Garvin, the 1, 2, 3. Hard Charger going the way of definitely not Slater Colby, excuse me, but Jeremy Fletcher had the most laps led up until the point where he returned to pits. And then it was going to be Marvin Samayoa in 4th, Jeffrey Davis in 5th. Clancy Garvin rounded out that podium. Jensen McKelkey brought home 6th. Stone Colby, Brandon Birch, Warren Johnson, Edwin Onofre, Alexei Andreu, Darren Colby, Connor Cunningham, Glenn Bratton, Joe Rainey, Jeremy Fletcher from JFR Esports, Thomas Divley, Christian James, LaShawn Young Dilworth, Nico Colby, and one more driver to round it out. That will be Jacob Bolin to finish out the 21 drivers that finished out the race. And we're going to take a brief break for the warm-up period. Don't go anywhere, folks, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. And we have none other than Odyssey Motorsports TV joining us in the broadcast booth for a quick interview. How does it feel to have the OMTV organization represented here at West Coast Sim Racing?
Oh, man, it feels great. We got a great group of drivers with Clancy, LaShawn, and Jeffrey. And, you know, our team always comes out and supports our drivers whenever they're in a broadcast. So it's awesome to see them fighting up there for the podiums. It's awesome to see them week in and week out. And, you know, you guys do an amazing job broadcasting every week. It's really, really fun to watch.
It's quite amazing that you guys show up and show out in force as well, regardless of what broadcast I'm on. And there's an OMTV car on the grid. There's at least 2 or 3 supporters in the chat. You know, what drives the community to be so supportive?
Well, you know, I think it's just a really good group of guys that are out there to start. And then to add on to it, we have a ton of fun with each other on iRacing and the Discord. We're our own little community. And like I said, we support each other any way we can, whatever league anyone's driving in. It's super fun. And we just happened to catch 2 different leagues that you were broadcasting. And both of them are, like I said, they're fantastic. It's great watching you.
How does one get involved with OMTV, and how does one find out about you guys? Some more information.
Yeah, for sure. You can go to odysseymotorsporttv.com. There's links there to our Discord. We're actually hosting our own league in the Raging Radicals is what we call it, SR10, SR8. We also do Track and Smacks Mondays. Yeah, come join us. Like I said, it's a great community. Els basically runs the team, and he's an awesome guy. He's always out there doing his best. Clancy and Jeffrey always up there fighting. So it's just a lot of fun. A really great group of human beings over there, and super proud to be a part of it.
Thanks for joining us in the broadcast booth here at West Coast Sim Racing, live from Mountain Panorama. Have a great night, brother, and stay safe out there.
All right, thanks. You too.
Thank you, everybody in the YouTube chat, for coordinating that. Really appreciate you guys showing up and showing out. Thank you very much for all your love and support you guys give here at West Coast Sim Racing. Big shout outs to OMTV. Make sure you guys check them out. But it's time to go green, green, green for West Coast Sim Racing. And look at the drivers fan out, 5 abreast coming into turn number 1. It'll be 4 abreast guaranteed. Will it be clean and green? It looks like we might be. Until we get to the exit of turn number 1 4 does not come into 1. Apparently, Glen Bratton, Darren Colby, Connor Cunningham, Alexei Andreu, Edwin Onofre. Oh my goodness, who wasn't involved in that one? Jeffrey Davis and Clancy Garvin looking for double trouble for the Odyssey Motorsports TV group tonight, but he's got a group of West Coast Sim Racing veterans up the road. Slater Colby and Luke Cantor being a pair of them until they both go off into the wall, coming through Griffin's Mount, up the hill into Reed Park. What went wrong there? Jeffrey Davis now into the lead by a country mile. Stone Colby, Jensen McKelkey, Slater Colby, then Clancy Garvin. Holy Toledo, it all pops off on lap 1. See if we can get a replay of what happened here. It might have been Jeremy Fletcher that was the start of all this. So here's Fletcher in the background, and it'll be his crash that shows up first. JFR in a 3 wide, and Birch goes round as well. And that's the start of the tussle, and then the end of it is, well, there she is. Right now, Jeffrey Davis does lead by that country mile, 2.3 seconds, the current gap. Clancy Garvin finds his way back up into 3rd position in front of Slater Colby, but Joe Rainey and Marvin Samayoa aren't too pleased with the newcomer showing his stripes this early on. Here comes Colby like a choo-choo train, chugging along, trying to get something done around Clancy Garvin. Marvin Samayoa in that number 97 in the background of all these battles, chilling like a villain right now in his Toyota GR86. Onofre on his recovery drive. Edwin Onofre chases down Nico Colby. Luke Cantor, Connor Cunningham. Here. Get that replay loaded up. Oh, the battle for the lead as Onofre loses ground coming through the top of the hill at Solomon Park. Here's Cantor's crash coming up the hill. And he just goes straight off the mountain. And that collects Marvin Samayoa, who's somehow, wow, able to get collected by the number 16 and all that. Holy Toledo. The mountain claiming lives tonight. Clancy Garvin now challenges Stone Colby, the battle for the lead. Very much between the Odyssey Motorsports drivers right now. Marvin Samayoa getting a slowdown penalty coming through the chase. Loses out a whole bunch of ground there. Birch with a look of the stamp and a send on Alexei Andreu. Finds the ground. Samayoa behind. Goes off at Hell Corner. and that's going to lose him all the momentum he needs. Look at the background battle there. Luke Cantor trying to recover with Nico Colby, Connor Cunningham, and Edwin Onofre in tow. A lot of recovering drivers in this battle pack right now. Let's look forward to Jensen McKelkey because he's about to get dive bombed by Marvin Samayoa. Samayoa looked to the inside line, but decided discretion is the better part of valor and backed out of that one pretty swiftly. He looks back and checks his mirrors. Warren Johnson is too far back to make anything happen, so the battle can still rage on between the duo here. Warren Johnson has a little bit of lick of the wall himself as he loses a little bit of ground. 21 minutes remain on the clock, folks. Plenty of time for more racing action to take place. Clancy Garvin actually loses the lead now to Stone Colby. Stone Colby in the number 52 finds a positive gain of 5 positions on the evening tonight. Birch with a little bit of a mistake over at the Dippa. And he's going to lose a handful of positions because of that. All the way down to the Forest elbow, he's hemorrhaging that wound. Back here between Cantor, Nico Colby, Edwin Onofre. LYD looks on with envy as the battle continues up the road. Here's Cantor going for a move on Nico Colby to the inside line at the kink. It's dangerous to go flat out here because one false look at that curb could send you off wide and into your opponent. Side by side all the way down to the chase, and a little bit of love given between drivers. No love lost though as they both continue their wheel-to-wheel bout. LYD gets in front of Onofre on their run down to Murray's corner. Now the mount over the curb, and the Dynaco machine tries to claim a little bit of real estate back on the racetrack, but has to chase down LYD for it. LYD comes back across into the racing zone, and now single file becomes the order of operation through Hells. Wheel to wheel between the Dynaco machine of Luke Cantor and Nico Colby, and they'll keep their bout going all the way into the cutting. Side by side, they drive with ferocity and commitment and confidence all the way into the cutting. A couple clips of the wall there. And that'll slow down the 16's charge. Nico Colby, the young gun, trying to do anything he can to recover some points tonight. But it's really been all about Birch, who needs the points, as Jeremy Fletcher didn't get a good haul of them during heat number 1, so this could shake things up in the championship quite a bit. Clancy Garvin under attack now from Stone Colby, or is he under attack from behind from Slater Colby as the Colbys work together? Bobbing and weaving down the front straightaway, trying to shake off the slipstream. The Colbys work together. A little bit of push given from one brother to the other. And back goes Clancy Garvin into the braking zone. The blocks are on from the 25. A little in too deep for the 52. Stone Colby goes off the racetrack. We'll cut it and have to give the time back to the stewards. Coming into the final corner of Murray's, it will be Clancy Garvin trailing Slater Colby. Now, Clancy Garvin has an opportunity to find P2, make this an Odyssey Motorsports 1-2 opportunity when we approach the halfway point of this event. Jeffrey Davis still out by 4.8 seconds, and no looking back for him. three-way battle turns into a four-way battle as Jeremy Fletcher now gets involved in this one. Fletcher definitely in the mix now. Can get his elbows out at the cutting. He looks around the outside. Now a dive to the inside for the JFR machine and double trouble as he gets three moves for one. And off goes the Odyssey Motorsports car, collecting the 25 and Alexei Andreu. See if we can get a replay of what happened there between Clancy Garvin. Oh, a little bit further back than that. So here's the overtake from Jeremy Fletcher, and the 73 gives a little bit of room there to the 22, three wide at the cutting, and then out of it, it will be Fletcher getting the two moves done, and then a big wiggle from the 73 as he loses it and then gets love from behind, I think. And that's what's going to send us into the wall as a mount to the curb for the 52 sends him off into the barriers. Clancy Garvin not done with his battle yet. Sees writing on the wall. Jensen McKelkey being the next crosshair. Garvin, McKelkey, Birch, and Semioa all through the final corner. Single file all the way to Semioa, inverts the order, and McKelkey falls back. Holy Toledo, 14 positions gained for the man named Jeremy Fletcher right now as he chases down Jeffrey Davis with a 7.2 second gap right now. Looking back here is LaShawn Young-Dilworth. And Joe Rainey. Oh, look at this battle pack of GRs. All the way from Warren Johnson back, we have a huge gaggle. This is from 8th all the way to 16th position right now. Great driving from the West Coast Sim Racing organization. Warren Johnson being the cork in the bottle to Luke Cantor, holding him back with Alexei Andreu. Will moves be made coming down the hill into Forest Elbow. Cantor is there, tries to go around the outside at the Forest Elbow, but runs into the Falcon barrier. No, runs into Warren Johnson's rear wing though, that's for sure. On board with Alexei Andreu as we watch on at the Cantor-Johnson battle. Cantor a nose ahead now. Alexei tries to follow ground. Warren Johnson there on the outside. The Copeland Motorsports number 16. A big touch there from Cantor into Warren Johnson. And the 2x2 Noah's Ark formation is very much alive and well until it concludes with Alexei Andreu tumbling down. All good things have to come to an end, and sometimes so shall good racing. Looking at Semioa here. Locked in with Birch and Garvin. Yes, yes, Oliver. Like a ballerina, he avoided the wrecks. Yes, that's exactly what I think of. Speaking of LYD, here is battling with Connor T. Cunningham in that 502. It will be the 502 falling forward into 11th position in front of LYD, but it looks like an off there. Warren Johnson loses ground to Cantor again. Connor Cunningham trying to get the work done for the halfway point of the race, or just as we cross it, I should say. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Stone Colby and Jeremy Fletcher no longer helping each other out and hurting each other, actually, as they go through the kink side by side and out into the chase. JFR leads the Apex Motor Club 52 of Stone Colby. Clancy Garvin with a runoff there at the chase. See if we can get a replay of what happened here. He goes wheel to wheel with Marvin Semioa, and that's how it all goes wrong for the number 73. Warren Johnson still trying to defend what's his here at West Coast Sim Racing, and he's nestled into the top 10. Fletcher getting passed by Stone Colby. Coming through the cutting now. After Corey Bend becomes the cutting, then it turns into Griffin's Mount, Reed Park, and Solomon Park. Stone tries to chase down Fletcher, but no doing to get by him just yet. Fletcher takes off like a rocket ship coming through the Dippa, and now can Colby bring it back down? The gap, 10 seconds to Jeffrey Davis. Onofre a little bit locked in right now. But here we go, Fletcher and Colby, wheel to wheel. All the way down to the first corner. Out of Murray's. They exchange a little bit of paint as the JFR machine demands some room for racing. Gets a little hip check on corner entry to the 52, who goes a little wide in retort. Nico Colby chased down. Luke Cantor And now Nico Colby climbs up 11 positions. Can he make it 12 on the evening? Looky here. Onofre and Slater Colby, both a couple of recovering drivers. Onofre involved in the big one earlier, and Slater involved in a big one early on as well. Now on the recovery drive with just 3 laps remaining, what can be said or what can be actually done on the recovery drives tonight? .21:30 on the clock, leaving us with just a handful of laps remaining. Warren Johnson coming out of pit lane now. Wonder what that was about, but a quick pit stop for Warren Johnson as he drove through the lane. Jeffrey Davis still commands this race with an 11.5 second lead. But the battle for best of the rest between Fletcher and Colby rages on. The dynamic duo not giving up anytime soon. Here we go. Fletcher and Stone wheel to wheel right now. A little bit of a touch there from the 22 to the 52. Fletcher into Colby, and that was enough to shake his spirits coming into Quarry Bend. Marvin Samayoa chases down Glory right now as Brandon Birch is just right up ahead. Now Fletcher slips up. Fletcher slips up. And Stone was able to get by with relative ease on that occasion. Let's see what happens here. Oh, Fletcher with a big hit into the wall. And the 52 to follow that. That actually allows Birch to potentially find himself on a podium now. As Jeremy Fletcher, the championship points leader, is right up the road and well within striking distance. Barney's not waving the white flag just yet. That means we'll get 2 more as there's a spin in the background. I think that had to do with Nico Colby. Yes, it did. See what happened to the number 16 here. Goes off into the barrier, pushing too hard. And that'll be race ending for Nico. Samayoa, though, it's all just beginning for him. as we take a look from the chopper cam coming into the cutting. .36 chasing down Jeremy Fletcher. Brandon Birch. What can be done in the closing 2 minutes? One more lap after this. And Birch best Jeremy Fletcher and try to get into the lead of the points. 1 minute remains on the clock. One final lap to throw it all down. Here we go, folks. Jeffrey Davis approaching the white flag lap. Stone Colby, a little bit of a move there, trying to put the blocks on Jeremy Fletcher. But Fletcher kept the momentum in stride. And here he goes at the kink. He will go the long way around the outside, but a little bouncing and banging for the 52 over the curbs. And the 22 goes ahead. Jeremy Fletcher just a narrow margin ahead of Stone Colby. Switch back over to the racing line. Can't be decisive there. And watching under weighted breath is going to be the 36, Brandon Birch, trying to find an opportunity to strike here. White flag is waving. Big old spin in the background. And the Apex Motorsports number 52 nearly lost his life there. Brandon Birch finds P2 on his accomplished run into the final lap. Side drafting all the way down the mountain straight. Birch, Fletcher, wheel to wheel, going through Quarry Bend. Jeremy Fletcher on top. Marvin Samayoa watches on and waits for his opportunity to strike. Fletcher back up into P2. Birch trickles down to 4th. All the way up the hill through Solomon Park into McPhillamy. Drivers nose to tail coming down the mountain. But it will go the way of Jeffrey Davis's victory at the end of the night. He's going to cross the line and accept the checkered flag. The Odyssey Motorsports lucky number 7 from Antarctica will be on top. Great drive from Jeffrey Davis and great battles all around. Battle back here as drama unfolds between Jeremy Fletcher and the rest of the field. Stone Colby goes up into 2nd with Birch in 3rd, Luke Cantor in 4th, Clancy Garvin and Jeremy Fletcher in 6th now. Slater Colby, Edwin Onofre, Jensen McKelkey, and Marvin Samayoa dragged to the line after all that drama. See if we can get a replay of what happened there. No, that's not it. Oh, there's the last lap drama. Oh, that's not it either. Hold on, folks. We're going to find this. We're going to find this. It did not show up. Here we go. Down towards the kink. The 52 into the rear end of the 22. And Samayoa in the background gets a lick of it as well. Holy smokes. Take a look at those results. Jeffrey Davis took the win with 12 laps led. Then Stone Colby, Brandon Birch, Jeremy Fletcher. Stone Colby, Brandon Birch, and Jeremy Fletcher getting the Hard Charger Award. Luke Cantor in fourth. Clancy Garvin, Jeremy Fletcher came home in sixth. Slater Colby, Edwin Onofre, Jensen McKelkey, Marvin Samayoa. Then Connor Cunningham, LaShawn Young, Dilworth, Nico Colby, Darren Colby, Christian James, Warren Johnson, Glenn Bratton, Joe Rainey, Alexi Andreu, Thomas Divley, and last but not least, it will be Jacob Bolland. Let's hop into the interview room and talk to the drivers tonight. I think first and foremost, we're going to have to go in a weird order. So let's go ahead and talk to Birch first. And Birch, number 36 with 5 positions gained for the feature race, going from a 3-wide situation through Hell's Corner to coming out to that final corner. Did you think it would turn out that way?
No, not really. That was definitely an interesting race. Got spun in turn 1, and so obviously I was way in the back and kept pushing through and pushing through. I was just trying to do consistent laps. I know there's a lot of crashes that helped me get back to the front, which was good. And yeah, I don't know. It's a very tough track trying to stay off the walls. You know, the tires start to go and the walls start to feel like they're coming in on you. So I hit plenty of them, that's for sure.
What was it like with the incident counts tonight? You know, the walls being really the big detriment to most of the field this evening, as it was just a driver's errors galore out there tonight. Not a lot of side-by-side battling or incidents that resulted in contact. It was just a lot of solo incidences as the mountain claimed lives tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that hit the incident limit and a lot of people super close to it. So I was trying, I think I had like 13 or something at the end. I kept hitting them and getting a 1X. But yeah, no, the walls are not your friend here. And even if you do hit them and it doesn't spin you, you lose a ton of time, especially going up the hill. So I think everybody's plan was to stay away from them. But it's tough, especially when you're battling with guys.
Absolutely. Birch, who would you like to shout out or who would you like to thank here on the podium in Australia?
Yeah, you for the broadcast, Warren for the league, JFR Esports, vehiclebuyers.com. My dad and Steck always watching.
Right on. Thank you very much for supporting West Coast Sim Racing, brother. Have a great night and stay safe out there. Next up will be Stone Colby. Now, Stone, how do you feel about coming home in P2 for the feature race after 5 grueling positions gained? You know, I mean, starting in P7 and working your way up 5 positions through the mountain is not an easy feat. How were you able to accomplish the task?
Just consistency. I mean, I had a really bad qualifying. I couldn't put a lap together. My computer or my screens went black, and so I had to restart everything. And so just didn't work out in my favor. And then, yeah, after that, I mean, we started going, and then there was that big wreck, and Jeffrey just started to kind of leave. And I was trying to keep a steady gap, but I just I didn't have as much pace as him. And I don't know if we were different wing setups or what, but his car was fast down the straight. And then I saw Jeremy coming, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play around with Jeremy for the rest of the race. So I was just kind of messing around with him and kind of just, half footing it and taking each other off the track, banging doors and locking wheels. But it was fun. So I had a good time.
It looked like an awesome second half of that race when you guys were trading paint down the straightaway and bumping uglies through the kink at Conrad. What was it like going through there at 142 miles an hour and flirting with that curb?
Well, if Jerry's on your outside, he's not going to give you a whole lot of space. But I was just like, if I'm going to start to slide or get taken out, I'm just going to take him out with me, and that was kind of the goal if something was going to happen. But I mean, I think we were kind of more than stable going through there. I wasn't really worried about there. It was more of, us going in the braking zones and locking wheels, and then you can actually use that to your advantage. And so we'd lock wheels, and then I would kind of push out, and then Jeremy would use it to bump off me to go towards the apex. So it was a lot of cat and mouse, but it was a lot of fun for sure.
Right on. Glad you guys are having fun here at Mount Panorama. Who would you like to shout out, or who would you like to thank tonight, Stone?
You for broadcasting, Warren for putting on the league, vehicle buyers, Overstock, friends and family for watching.
Right on. Thank you very much, Stone, for supporting West Coast Sim Racing. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you in a few days' time.
You too. Thanks.
Last but not least, it's going to be the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Nightmare, Jeffrey Davis. Lucky number 7. Should be 666s, according to the fans in the chat. But Jeffrey Davis, all jokes aside, not too shabby of a run this evening. How'd you claim that victory?
Definitely a lot of it was luck. Pretty bad accident happened ahead of me, so luckily I was able to really avoid it and just push through and start making that gap unfold.
Despite that, you still had to have the pace and the consistency to bring it home. What does it take for the OMTV crew to get a good setup dialed in, to get practice in? What does a regiment look like as you prepare for an event here with West Coast Sim Racing?
Typically we do like a couple hours of practice before the actual event happens. We have a race engineer, Oliver, who sets all the cars up. Shout out to Oliver. He's the best with it, man.
As we heard from TJ, it's great to hear that you guys have an actual cohesive team that supports one another and drives you guys to victory and the checkered flag week after week. Jeffrey Davis, who'd you like to shout out and who'd you like to thank? Because the entire OMTV crew is here watching on.
Well, firstly, I want to thank Odyssey Motorsport, all the guys for coming out, showing support. Secondly, I want to thank Oliver again for the great setup. Kobe Brooks for, this amazing circle app that he's made, another one of our sponsors. That's it.
Right on. Jeffrey Davis, thank you very much for supporting West Coast Sim Racing. Have a great night and stay safe, brother.
You too.
With that, folks, that's going to close things out for us. On behalf of West Coast Sim Racing, on behalf of AK Esports, I want to give my gratitude. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you very much for chatting in YouTube. Really appreciate all the love and support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notifications for when we go live next. It'll be Wednesday, same time, same place. Following that will be Thursday, and we head back over into the F4 machinery. See you there, same time, same place. Have a great night, everybody, and most importantly, stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.
Down.